He got told that the threat assessment had been put on hold indefinitely, and then he got told that he wasn't going to get any kind of protection at all for the visit. And my information is basically distraught about it. It hit him very hard emotionally, and even now to this day, he has not actually definitively confirmed that he definitely will bring Meghan and the kids. The plan has not been changed, but they still have to. It's still waiting for Harry and Meghan to effectively make a decision that they are going to go ahead and bring Archie and Lily.
Well, now Prince Harry is returning to the UK this week. His trip back home, though, is riddled with questions. There's no formal invitation to the King, or no RSVP at least. A security battle and a judgment expected in the Duke of Sussex's High Court case against the publishers of the Daily Mail. So it could be a drama-filled trip. Let's hear now from Jack Royston, Chief Royal Correspondent at Newsweek. Good afternoon, Jack.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for coming on and putting us in the picture on all. There's lots to talk about. Tell me about the Daily Mail case and what's happened there and where that stands now.
So this is a real grudge match for Harry. He kind of has to win. He's accused them of historic phone hacking. He's also accused them of other unlawful practices, predominantly blagging. So the strongest evidence, in my view, in the case is in relation to basically the allegation they were blagging his ex-girlfriend's flight records so they could kind of be there at the airport when she arrived in London or wherever they were going on holiday, and then using that to try and follow them around. There was actually one email suggesting a freelance journalist had kind of suggested they could try and get somebody actually on the plane next to Chelsea Davy, which Harry said was disturbing. The counter-argument from the Daily Mail's publisher is actually some of the stories that Harry complained about were written by journalists who did have mutual friends with him, who partied with him at certain points. And one journalist produced Facebook messages showing that they'd kind of watched movies together and these kinds of things. So it's totally possible that there will be a situation where Harry loses, for example, on phone hacking, but wins on some other stuff. And both sides try to claim it as a victory. If he does lose, though, he then has to do this tour of Britain where it's going to be written all over his face, and the emotions are already extremely high.
Gosh, absolutely. Well, I want to move on to a different story, which is this security row with the Home Office. Obviously, he's previously refused to come back to the UK because of that. Yeah. Where's that stand now?
So basically, Harry was told in November last year that he was going to get an updated threat assessment. I think Harry basically convinced himself that the threat against him was so high and the risk was so high that that would have to lead to a recommendation that he be given round-the-clock police protection, and that would then be put in place. And so he was actually holding off on planning or announcing certain parts of his plan to visit the UK because he wanted that answer from the Home Office. He was still kind of thinking he was going to get some kind of positive answer. And then last Friday, he got told that the threat assessment had been put on hold indefinitely. And then he got told that he wasn't going to get any kind of protection at all for the visit. And my information is basically distraught about it. It hit him very hard emotionally. And even now to this day, he has not actually definitively confirmed that he definitely will bring Meghan and the kids. The plan has not been changed, but they still have to. It's still waiting for Harry and Meghan to effectively make a decision that they are going to go ahead and bring Archie and Lily.
And of course, there isn't any confirmation that he's going to see the King. There's no intel on that. Here. Yeah. No, and my information is that he doesn't blame Charles personally for any of this, but he is very angry, I think, because he does blame royal household officials. He does blame some of the King's staff. Now, they would no doubt say it's nothing to do with them. It's all up to the Home Office. But Harry does know that some of them do sit on RAVEC, this committee of the Home Office that makes these decisions. And so Harry believes that means that they are helping make these decisions. They are intervening and stopping him from getting this police protection team. It's a tangled story, lots of tangled stories. In fact, Jack Royston, thank you very much for putting us in the picture.